I'd like to welcome our elections team, our advisor, as well as everyone who's decided to attend the tabulation certification process tonight. My name is Claire Irish. I currently serve as the elections commissioner here, and I'll be overseeing the tabulation process tonight along with the elections board. Per governing code 608.1, the tabulation process is open to the public. A simple majority of the elections board, a professional staff representative from the Office of Student Organizations and Activities, and the elections commissioner must be present. I'm now going to roll. When I say your name, please say here. Committee member Bevins has been excused. Committee member Bezell.
Here.
Committee member Dowdy. Here. Committee member Giganti. Here. Committee member Jenkins.
Here.
Committee member Martin.
Here.
Committee member Rainier.
Here.
Committee member Singh.
Here.
Committee member Street.
Here.
Elections Commissioner Irish is here. SGA advisor Liliana. Here. Okay, with the majority of the elections board of supervision here, along with myself and our advisor, we may proceed. As we begin tonight, I want to go over some of the governing codes that affect tonight's process, as well as the decorum of our audience. Before all votes are tallied, per governing code 608.4, an accurate number of ballots cast shall be determined. Votes will then be tallied separately in each individual contest. The contest shall be counted in the following order: President and Vice President, graduate and professional senator at large, undergraduate senators at large, and then we will do the college senators in alphabetical order by the degree granting college or school. Votes will be counted using the plurality method, wherein the remaining candidate who receives the most votes is declared the winner. For each race, the following will happen. The board will determine an accurate number of ballots cast for each race. Each vote will count as one vote for each candidate. In the event that a voter selects both abstain and any candidate named within the same race, that ballot for that race will be considered invalid per a vote of the elections board. The candidate with the most votes will unofficially win a seat until all seats for that race are filled. In the event that abstain wins the most votes, the next candidate with the most votes will be the unofficial winner. In the event of a tie in the official results following Supreme Court certification, the Supreme Court will order a special election between those candidates tied for the final seats. That is per code 608.5b. Should any Senate position remain vacant following the spring election, it will be remanded to the fall election. We are going to ask all members here today to please keep chatter and movement to a minimum, just to allow the board up here to operate functionally. And I just want to flag that the board may gather on some races to go through ballots step by step, but please know that that is normal when we gather up here. That is all of the procedural notes. Do we have any questions about that procedure? All right, with that, we are going to start with the president and vice presidential race. You all are allowed to talk, though. Just want to note that. Feel free to talk in between races.
Good. Oh, you're good.
having some technical difficulties with the TVs, so just give us a moment on that.
No, she does.
Oh, hey, Steve. Call your agent. Can you send me your other report right now? Can you send me an email saying this?
It is at 5 o'clock to get one.
It gets a lot of love.
Oh, you did say when.
Or it is, you're good.
I saw 5 o'clock, it was 4:30, I saw 5 o'clock.
Hey, you're good. Yeah. Either should be saying you don't care or the right.
Because
My exact. Sloppy. One. In the state of Kentucky, it's shit. Yeah. I do weddings. And that's it.
You know, the slippers, they're on the top shelves.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Right in my mother's circle. No. 4-on-4.
All right, guys, we're back. So the results for the presidential and vice presidential race, the Nick Pace and Carter Franklin ticket has 1,647 votes for 85% of the race, and there were 285 abstains for 15%. We are now going to move on to the graduate professional ed electives.
Oh my God. Hey, I'll run you for Are you? I'm back. done.
Look at that. Listen, you'll change it.
Hey Claire, what was your total ballot number of ballots cast?
There were 0 invalid ballots, so it's the same.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still there.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I have emails. I felt pretty fast. Oh, okay. It's like,
I really don't remember.
You'll definitely need to do that.
Yes.
I don't really know. So sometimes they're like.
Going down.
I think I don't know one.
Ron, I'm gonna send over.
All right, for the grad and professional center large race, there were 41 valid ballots. Caroline Devine had 17 votes for 41%. Allie Rowland had 24 votes for 59%. Cameron C. had 17 votes for 41%. Anna Clements had 15 votes for 37%. Landon Cameron had 4 votes for 10%. And there was 9 abstains.
Can you know the percentage again?
For Anna, it was
For all of them?
37.
For Caroline, Divine, 41,
Yes,
for Ellie,
59 and
for Cameron,
41.
It has to have 100.
There's multiple seats for this one, so yeah,
Okay, hold up. No.
there's 12 seats for this one for everyone in the audience, so all of our 5 candidates will be getting a seat. Lana Cameron had 4 votes for 22%. There we go. There was 9 abstains for 20, wait. Sorry, Landon was 10%, and then the abstains, the 22%. And then 22. Okay, perfect. All right, now we will be moving on to the undergrad at large race.
Alternates. Because 80 volts at this point are actually wrong. They're strong about chains. They say no to theirs. Yes, have you when it goes in that like just so. But he's fine. Yeah, I don't know.
That's an interesting point because you have the right of refusal, one, or have the deadline or you don't.
No.
Which it's pretty the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll leave it all. All the work that. That's yeah, sure. Right, now that it's
Don't worry.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's all, you know that this guy. Yeah, I was out for that. Leadership. Oh, it still wasn't. Is that whole ball? I read, my brother represents the best. I hope. That I ask for. So. Why? Same thing, you know. I should have water fire. No, I should have wanted to be.
That's true.
Yes. Yeah, figure that out.
I crossed the water. I turned it on.
It's talking about you. I was like, I was looking at Instagram, I was scrolling and I saw. I have only this box. No, Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that the girl? Early, after, thank y'all for your 45 years of service. One like, I was one like important. Yeah. I remember the last time. Yeah, they are. That's the first thing. It's Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and it floats like forward.
What's the one that I said?
Ball.
It's not out yet.
I know like five books. It's like a song. I know, like, I'm sure that goes. They just want You guys can hide the screen. Anyone high five? I don't know. It is like this. I got say I mean a little busy. See if we're already
A bubble.
big for you. Yeah, maybe you like rotate training. Yeah, that's awesome. You like make it better. Bro, No, 30 years old. No, actually. Okay, it's technically like kind of.
But you remember when
It's not oh, see. That's a good method.
Yes, yeah. Also, no, I figured it's like, it was.
No, I would have known her if you didn't like introduce me.
Yeah, no, I was like, I was like, holy head. Yeah. I was terrible. No, I was terrible. But I.
Yeah.
But. Yeah. So I was like, I'm.
No, kill that.
I heard someone had that to say, I didn't know. Yeah.
Oh.
This is Thursday, try to take it. Oh, don't go.
All right. It's gonna take us a minute. But for the undergrad at large race, we had 22 invalid ballots. Oh, what's the math there? 1870 is the total ballot number cast. All those that were invalid were either they abstained and voted for people, or they voted for way too many people because they were only allowed to vote for 24. So those are the reasons why those ballots were invalid. Okay, so now I'll go through the results. I'm going to say the number of votes, the percentage. I'm going to do that for every candidate, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to have her highlight which ones were the top 24. So first, Connor Brumley, 372 votes, 20%. And this is another one with 24 seats. The numbers are not going to add up to 100. Jordan Stoll, 295, 16%. 16. Okay, Isaiah's was 126 for 7%. Hunter Smith, 127, 7%. Grant Harper, 202, 11%. Joseph Pyle, 226, 12%. Sammy Wanta, 144, 8%. Marshall Stewart, 150, 8%. Tay Kane, 270, 14%. Bailey Boone, 173, 9%. John Riley is 248, 13%. Callum McCoy, 120, 6%. Kendra Bertram, 321, 17%. Lucia is 160 for 8%. 8%. Samuel is 184 for 10%. Addison Edge, 363 for 19%. Andrew Wright, 195 for 10%. Angelica is 189 for 10%. Maddox is 118 for 6%. Amaya is 88 for 5%. Abby, 134 for 7%. Molly, 136, 7%. Nathan is 61 for 3%. Carly Cox, 232 for 12%. Reed is 67 for 4%. Rob Bell is 218 for 12%. 12%? Rupp was 12. Aiden is 40 for 2%. Josie, 169 for 9%. And then Silas, 178 for 9%. Colleen is 75 for 4%. The Kyla, is 68 for 4%. Riley is 133 for 7%. Harper is 283 for 15%. And then Addie, 307 for 16%. James is 39 for 2%. And then we had 231 actual abstains for 12%.
So abstain one?
Abstain, if abstain wins at any point, the next most votes would win.
I'm sorry, I'm saying that if I were able to register
Well, abstain would then be another line on the ballot that you could vote for because you'd be a candidate named abstain. Those are the people who chose not to vote in that race.
All right, sorry to interrupt.
Okay. I'm gonna check these results one more time and then I'll just have you highlight them. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you, Brianna, which ones to highlight, and these are our unofficial sections. So Connor Bromley and Jordan Stoll. And then starting at Grant Harper, you can highlight Grant, Joseph, Sam, Marshall, Tate, Bailey, and John Riley Kaufman all together. And then we'll have Kendra, Lucy, Samuel, Addison, Andrew, and Angelica. And Angelica as well, at the top there. And then Abby and Molly Scoville. Carly Cox. Brooke Bell. Josie York. Silas Marshall. And then Riley Johnson, Harper Worrell, and Addie Claire Jones. And those are unofficial results for that race. Oh. Yeah, Josie York. Sorry if I skipped that one. Okay. Might jump past that. And Silas Marshall. Technically abstained, but you're all good. All right, we're gonna move on to the agriculture college race now. Okay, there were 140 valid ballots. Matthew Estes had 109 votes for 78%, sorry. And then abstain with 31 abstains for 22%. We are now going to move on to arts and sciences. Okay, for the College of Arts and Sciences, Shashika had 30 votes for 8%. Oh, they're not in order. Sorry, that's for the second one. And Julia Dawn had 213 votes for 60%. And there were 112 abstains for 32%. There was 355 ballots. All right, we are now going to move on to business and economics. For the College of Business and Economics, Timothy Woods had 166 votes for 35%. Jack Slaughter had 126 votes for 27%. And there were 179 abstains for 38%. And that was a total of 472 valid ballots. You're now going to move on to the Communications College. For the College of Communications and Information Senator, Chloe Darnell had 52 votes, or 36%. And Chloe Ewing had 46 votes, or 32%. There were 45 abstains for 31%. And there was 143 valid votes. We are now going to move on to dentistry. For the College of Dentistry, there was one valid ballot. Dante Reed had one vote for 100% of the votes, and there were 0 abstains. You're now going to move on to the College of Design. For the College of Design, there were 14 valid ballots. Brayden Woodward had 13 votes, or 93%, and there was 1 abstain, for 7%. You're now going to move on to education. For the College of Education Senator, there were 121 valid ballots. Emma Blom had 95 votes for 79%. And there was 26 abstains for 21%. You're now going to move on to the College of Engineering. Can you repeat the opinion? I would say 29, but I'm not sure. 79 and 21. Now we're moving on to engineering. For the College of Engineering Senator, Brunette had 65 votes for 30%. Miles had 29 votes for 13%. Vigo had 80 votes for 37%. And there were 38 abstains for 18%. And there was 215 ballot votes. We are now going to move on to fine arts. For the College of Fine Arts Senator, Hayush had 23 votes for 68%. There were 11 abstains for 32%, and there were 34 ballot ballots. We're now going to move on to Health Sciences College. For the College of Health Sciences, Julianne had 117 votes for 88%. And there were 16 abstains for 12%. And there was 133 ballot votes. We are now going to move on to the College of Law. For the College of Law, there was 8 valid ballots. Lily Durthick had 8 votes for 100% of the votes. And there were 0 abstains for 0%. And now we're going to move on to the College of Medicine. For the College of Medicine, there were 5 valid ballots. Sophia had 5 votes for 100% of the vote. There were 0 abstains for 0%. We're now going to move on to the nursing college. For the College of Nursing, there were 157 valid ballots. Steve had 123 votes for 78%, and there were 34 abstains for 22%. We are now going to move on to the College of Pharmacy.
Thank you for your addition.
For the College of Pharmacy, there were 7 valid ballots. Addison Andrews got 6 votes, sorry. For 86% of the votes, there was 1 abstain with 14%. We are going to now move on to the Public Health College. For the College of Public Health, there were 55 valid ballots. John Stanton had 35 votes, 64%. Parker Ferrari had 7 votes for 13%. Allie had 6 votes for 11%. And there were 7 abstains with 13%. We're now going to move on to the Social Work College. For the College of Social Work, there were 23 valid ballots. Olivia Villanova had 16 votes for 70%. And there were 7 abstains for 30%. We are now going to move on to the Martin School. For the Martin School, Addie Sawyers had 34 votes for 87%. And there were 5 abstains for 13%. And there were 39 valid ballots. We're now going to move on to our last race, which is the Patterson School. For the Patterson School, there were 11 valid ballots.
That's.
The Patterson School?
Yeah. I think it should be Colin.
Yes, that should say Colin Harris, not Addie Sawyers, sorry. COLIN, just one out. Harris with 2 overs. Well, Colin Harris got 11 votes for 100%, and there were 0 abstains for 0%. That was 11 ballots. And that is the end of our tabulation procedure. Thank you all for coming out tonight. That's all. Thanks, guys.